I was in my devotional this morning on my ride to work to drop off, or on my ride to daycare to drop off my daughter, and my devotional jumps back. It's the Bible in 1 year, so it jumps back and forth between Old and New Testament, covering both. And the Old Testament portion was from Proverbs 26, verse 3 through 12, and it was like God's description of a fool and the use of a fool. And it's a trip, man, because it's like no one wants to think of themselves as a fool, basically. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to think that they the mouth in the room. You know what I'm saying? What they say, what's that old saying, the old country saying, the weakest wagon wheel make the most noise. Like the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room type deal. Nobody wants to be that person. But you don't know that you're being that person if everybody in the room is like agreeing with you, which it speaks to why it's just so important to not have yes men around you, not have people around you that just agree with you. Like, you can't be opposing me all the time, and you can't be just, because it's a thin line between reproach and just straight up hate. You know what I mean? And, you need to check me when I'm out of pocket. But when I'm just formulating my ideas and my thoughts and my next moves and my feelings, you can't rebuff everything I'm doing, because then you destroy my ambition. I don't want to think of nothing new. But at the same time, to be the fool, man, to be the fool, this is what makes it so dangerous. It said, and I don't know, I'm rough with numbers, but it said, like the legs of the lame, which are useless, is profit from the mouth of a fool. So once your actions and your words have proven you to be a fool, even good game is like dead. It's dead coming out your mouth. There's no life to it. You can't speak life, because you killed the life that was already in you, in your words and in your no, man. People say oh, well, this person, they giving good game, but it's not received, because I've watched you be a fool for so long. So you got to live in a way to where, especially if you're saying something that's important and you're giving it to the next generation, if you've been a fool in the past, you gotta ask. Number one, you gotta pray and seek God and ask for forgiveness, because God is the only way that you're coming back from it. You're not gonna come back from foolish behavior and foolish ways without Him. You know what I mean? And that's what I believe. That's what I believe true, and that's what I hold to. Because that's the only way I've ever known to do it. The only way I've ever been able to accomplish it in my own life, and the only way I've ever seen people truly accomplish it is through God and through faith and through prayer. But then it's like, it went on to say, like the bind to a stone is the one who gives honor to a fool. And so basically you can't, even if you honor a foolish person, you can't keep them from doing foolish things. You can't keep them from doing things that are detrimental. And if you honoring them while they being fooled, while you see them doing things that they shouldn't do, or things that you wouldn't do, or whatever the case may be, if you give an honor to them in the moments of clarity and the moments of coherence where they can, premeditated action, the moments where they actually plan things out, and every so often they wise, bro. Every so often, I know that he be tripping and drinking and beating his girl or cheating on his wife or whatever, but he got good game every now and again, bro. You know what I mean? That bro the homie got $1 million worth of game, man, for the free though. So you need to get that game why would I get game from you? Why would I get game from you? I done watched you be foolish for how long? Then it jumps to Titus chapter 2. And the beginning of that was a description of, God's description of a temper, of Holy Spirit working through you and how that person behaves. And it said a person of even temper. And so it's immediately I was like, oh, well, I'm out the running, because I know I'm not even tempered. I know my struggle already. Just already God was in my house, and it's like, well, how many times have I proven myself the fool just in my reaction? And then it's like, so since I proven myself the fool, I'm somebody that I consider myself to be somebody that can listen, and give, I only give advice when it's asked of me. And when I do, I try to give it from a perspective of being imperfect or being flawed. But it's like, how many people have I proven myself a fool to and then tried to advise in my lifetime? How many times have I been that lame with useless legs who had good game to give but wasn't giving it from a good place? You know what I mean? I'm teaching you how to build your house, and I got my house ain't on solid ground. It ain't on good foundation. I done built my house on the sand, and I'm telling you how to build your house on good earth. It's crazy, man. But like, I think that's part of what is messing us up so much, man. We think that people that we watch do foolish things, we shouldn't expect more from them. We shouldn't ask them to expect more from themselves, because when they talk to us, they got good game. They go home and they foolish. They go back to their life and they foolish with it. But when they talk to us, they got good game. He got that good game, son. He done did things that I ain't never did, man. He done made mistakes that I ain't never made and never gonna make, man. Like, I'm green, man. He done did it all. And we look at that like that's some kind of drawback to us. Just cause I ain't never been foolish, I should take it in from you when you're currently being foolish. You gotta pray, man. You gotta pray for discernment for sure. And that's my prayer for you today, is that you discern and really, really weed out and figure out, man, who you should be getting game from. And if it's good game, how much of it you should be taking in. Because if you living foolish, it's pointless. Your $1 million worth of game, it lose all its equity. Y'all be blessed, man. Have a great day. Love you.